Hi guys. So today we are going to solve some questions of application of ratio and proportion. Moving to the first question. A, B and C invest rupees 40,000, 30,000 and 50,000 respectively in a partnership firm. At the end of 4 months, A quits. At the end of 6 months, B quits and A rejoins. At the end of 10th month, C quits, B rejoins. If the profit at the end of the year is rupees 1,14,000, find A share in profit. So let's first try to understand what are the capitals of A, B, and C. As we know, if the profit sharing ratio is not given, we have to assume that the ratio of investment is the ratio of profit. Now, A was there for first 4 months, then he quit. B was there for first 6 months, then he quit, and at the same time, A rejoined. So, from 6th month onwards, A rejoined the firm. C was there for 10 months, and at the same time, when the C quit, B rejoined, and B rejoined from 10-month onward. Hence, let's try to find out the total time period of A, B, and C. The time period of A is 10 months, B is 8 months, C is 10 months. Capitals, we know that they are 40,000, 30,000, and 50,000 respectively. So, it's a question based on compound partnership. So in compound partnership, we know one thing, that the formula is investment into time period, and then we have to take the ratio. So let's cancel out all the zeros. So 40,000, 30,000, 50,000, the zeros would get cancelled. And whatever we can cancel out, we can cancel those things. And we'll get the ratio of profit, that is 20 is to 12 is to 25. We have to find A share in profit. So the fraction of A is 20 upon 57. 20 by 57 into 1,14,000 will give us A share, that is 40,000 rupees. Moving to the next question. U, V and W enter into a partnership with an amount of 5,000 each. After 3 months, you invest an additional of 3,000. 3 months later, we invest rupees 4,000. And W at the same time withdraws rupees 1,000. Profits at the end of the year were 2,31,000. What is W's earning if he is to be allowed rupees 500 as salary per month from the profits at the end? This is also a question based on compound partnership. So let's try to figure out the total capital of U, V, and W. Now, you invested 5,000 for first 3 months, and for the rest of the time period, that is for rest 9 months, he invested additional of 3,000. So 5,000 plus 3,000 will become 8,000. Hence the capital of U for the rest period, for the remaining period, is rupees 8,000. Capital for V for the first 6 months was 5,000 rupees. V invested additional 4,000, and the capital of V became 9,000. So for the remaining period, that is the period for 6 months, the capital of V was 9,000 rupees. W invested 5,000, but that capital was only there for 6 months. Then he withdrew 1,000 rupees. So for the remaining time period, the capital became 4,000. Now let's find out the total capital of U, V, and W. So let's cancel out the zeros and work with the values. So 5 into 3 plus 8 into 9. 5 into 3. 3 is the time period, 9 is the time period. 5 and 8 are the capitals. Same follows for V, that is 5 into 6 plus 9 into 6, and for W, that is 5 into 6 plus 4 into 6. After cancelling out the values, we'll get the ratio, that is 29 is to 28 is to 18. We want W share, so W was getting a salary of rupees 500 per month. That means for a year, his salary would be 6,000, that is 500 into 12. And W share in profit is 18 upon 75 into 2,21,000, 25,000. Now, profits were 2,31, but we have to give W his salary of 6,000 rupees. Hence, after deducting W's salary from profit, we are left with 2,25,000. So after solving this, we'll get 54,000. And they are asking us to find out W's total share. So it would be 6,000 plus 54,000. 54,000 is the share from profit. That is 60,000 rupees. Moving to the next question. M and N enter into a partnership. M puts in the whole capital of 30,000 on the condition that the profits will be equally divided, after which N will pay M interest on capital at 10% per annum and will receive 50 rupees per month from M's salary. What is the yearly profit if N's income is half of M's income? Remember the conditions given to us in the question. First, we know that M and N enter into a partnership. M invested 30,000, N invested nothing. But the condition says every year N is going to pay 10% interest on investment. So 10% of 30,000 is 3,000. So I'll deduct 3,000 from N's account and I'll add that 3,000 to M's account. Now, M is going to give salary of 50 rupees per month to N. 50 rupees per month, that means the annual salary would become 600. So 600 will be deducted from M's account and added to N's account. Now, profits were same. So let us assume it as P. Further, the net income is given that 3,000 minus 600 plus P, that is the net income of M, minus 3,000 plus 600 plus P, that is the net income of N. So P plus 2,400 for M, P minus 2,400 for N. Further, the condition says that N is twice of M. Hence, I'll simply multiply by 2 at the N's place. As M and N, they have said that N is twice that of M. So 2 into N is equal to M. This is what we can deduce. So it will become P plus 2,400 is equal to 2 into P minus 2,400. After solving this, we'll get the value of P as 7,200. Total profit is rupees 14,400. Moving to the next question. A vessel contains milk and water in the ratio 3:5. When 6 liters of this solution is removed and replaced by water, the ratio of milk and water becomes 5:9. How many liters of the solution was present in the vessel originally? Now let's do this question by using simple replacement. So we know that there are 3 parts of milk and 5 parts of water. I removed 6 liters from the solution. Now the removed 6 liter would also be in the ratio 3:5 only. And I replaced it with water, with 6 liters of water. After this, the ratio became 5:9. Now try to find out what is the no change component. In this, the no change component is going to be milk because we are adding water. If we add water, water parts would be added to water parts. That means milk is not changing. So the equation, the LCM would become 15, 5 and 3, 15. Now as the no change component is milk, we have to make the parts of milk similar. How will we make 5 and 3 same? By using the LCM method. That means I can say that milk is 15 parts. So if milk is 15 parts, water would be 25 parts. But the total parts of water are 27. Why 27? 9 threes are 27. Hence the total parts of water are 27. But in the actual parts, in the actual ratio, we have got 25 parts. The difference is of 2 parts. So we can say that the difference of 2 parts we are getting as we have removed the 6 liters of solution. Hence, 2 parts is equal to 6 liters. So 40 parts would be equal to 120 liters. Why 40? Because 25 plus 15 will give us the total number of parts that we have, the total original solution that we have. So 40 is equal to 120 parts. Now, we initially removed 6 liters of the solution. So now we have to add those 6 liters also, because they're asking us the original number of liters. Hence 120 plus 6 is 126. So 126 liters is the answer. Moving to the next question. A vessel contains 75% milk solution. 20% of the solution is removed and replaced by water. This process is repeated 2 more times. Find the percentage of milk in the solution after the 3 operations. So let us assume the base as 100. If we assume the base as 100, we can say that milk was 75%, water was 25%. The ratio of milk is to water is 3 is to 1. That is 75 is to 25. Now 20% is removed and 20% of water is added. So if we remove 20%, we'll remove 20 liters in the ratio of 3 is to 1. That means milk removed will be minus 15, water removed will be minus 5. And 60 and 20 are the liters of milk and water. But now we are adding 20 liters of water. So initially we had 60 liters of milk and 20 liters of water. Now if we again add 20 liters of water, we'll be left with 60 liters of milk and 40 liters of water. That is, I can say that it's 60% milk and 40% water. Now again, I'll remove 20 liters of solution in the ratio 3 is to 2, because 60 is to 40 is 3 is to 2. That means I am removing 12 liters of milk and 8 liters of water. But I am also adding 20 liters of water to it. Hence now milk and water would become 48 liters and 52 liters respectively. So 48 is to 52, that is milk is to water, the ratio is 12 is to 13. This process is repeated once again. So again, I'll remove 20 liters of water in the ratio 12 is to 13. Also, I'll add 20 liters of water to it again. So for milk, I'll subtract 9.6 liters. For water, I'll subtract 10.4 liters and I'll add 20 liters. So after that, it will give me 38.4 liters as milk and 61.6 liters as water. And this was the final removal. So what is the percentage of milk that is left currently? So it's 38.4%. So 38.4% is the answer. We can also solve this by using Wine-Left formula. That is, the parts which are left. Now 75% of milk was there originally. Out of that, if we remove 20% of the solution. So if we are removing 20% of the solution, what percent of the solution is still left? 80% of the solution is still left. That means 75% milk we had and 80% of the solution is still left. So we'll simply do 75% into 80%. That is 80% is 4 upon 5. This process is repeated 2 more times. Hence, 20% removed again. If 20% is removed, 80% is still left. So I'll again do into 4 by 5. And for the last operation, I'll again remove 20%. If 20% is removed, again 80% is left. So I'll again do 4 by 5. So 75 into 4 by 5 into 4 by 5 into 4 by 5, this will also give you the answer as 38.4%. Wine-Left formula is the easiest way to solve this question. A vessel contains 75% milk solution. 20% of this solution is removed and replaced by water. Then 25% of this solution is removed and replaced by water. Finally, 33% of this solution is removed and replaced by water. Find the percentage of milk in the solution after the 3 operations. Now, we'll Solve this question by using Wine-Left formula. So 75% milk was there. 20% was removed, hence 80% would still left. Now, from this, 25% was removed. So if 25% is removed, 75% is still left. And lastly, 33.33% is removed. So if I remove 33.33%, 66.66% will still be left. So that is 2 by 3 will still be left. And after solving this, we'll get 30% as the answer. Moving to the next question. 6 liters are drawn from a vessel full of wine and then filled with water. 6 liters of the resulting mixture are drawn and the vessel is again filled with water. The quantity of wine now left in the vessel to that of water is 144:81. How much does the vessel hold in liters? Let's solve this. Now, 6 liters of wine is removed and 6 liters of water added to it. Now, again 6 liters from the solution is removed and 6 liters of water is added to it. And after doing this, the fraction of wine that we are left with is 144 upon 225. I repeat, I am talking about fraction of wine, not the ratio of wine is to water. So fraction of wine will be 144 parts of wine upon total parts. So total parts will be 144 plus 81. That is 225. Now, 144 upon 225, we can break it into two parts. How? So the square root of 124 is 12, square root of 225 is 15. Hence, we can say that in the first operation, if we multiply it by 12 by 15, we'll get the solution. Again, that solution will be multiplied by 12 by 15 and we'll lastly get the fraction of wine. So basically, if we do 12 by 15 twice, if we multiply it by 12 by 15 twice, we'll get 144 upon 225. Now, if it is multiplied by 12 by 15, what is the remaining part? The remaining part is 3 by 15. So where will I write that 3 by 15? There is a gap of 3 by 15 because the 6 liters of wine is removed from it. Hence, 3 by 15 is left. So I can say that this 6 liters is equal to 3 by 15. 3 by 15, if I reduce it, I'll get 1 by 5. So I can say that 1 by 5 is equal to 6 liters. So if 1 by 5 is equal to 6 liters, what is the actual value? The actual value will be 30 liters. Basically, 1 by 5 is 20. So if 20 is equal to 6 liters, 100 is equal to what? By cross multiplication, you will get 30 liters as the answer. And 30 liters is the final answer. Moving to the next question. There are two casks. The second is twice as big as the first. The first contains whiskey and water in the ratio 7:8, and the second contains whiskey and water in the ratio 4:5. The contents of the two casks are added to the third cask, which can hold thrice as much liquid as the first. What is the ratio of whiskey and water in the third cask? Now, these are the informations that we have. So let us assume a value and try to solve this question. In the first one, it's 7:8. In the second one, it's 4:5. So we also have a condition that second cask is twice as big as the first one. So let us assume the quantity of second cask as 90 liters. Why would I assume 90 liters? Because 4 plus 5 is 9 parts. Hence, I am assuming it as 90 because the total parts are 9. So if I assume it as 90, the first cask would be of 45 liters because it's half of 90. And now divide it in the ratio. So 45 divide in the ratio of 7:8. 90 liters divide in the ratio of 4:5. We'll get the actual quantities of whiskey and water. And now we are going to pour these two casks into a third cask. So 90 plus 45 will give us 135 liters. Now parts of whiskey will be added to whiskey. So 21 plus 40 will give us 61. So in the third cask, we have whiskey as 61 liters. In the third cask, the water would be 74 liters as 24 plus 50. And now take the ratio because that's what they're asking us. So 61 is to 74 is the ratio of whiskey and water in the third cask. Thank you.